Well, it's Wednesday morning, we're back on the balcony, and we're at Coffee with Job, chapter 42, looking at comfort and consolation. So let me just read the few words there from verse 10. After Job had prayed for his friends, the Lord restored his fortune and gave him twice as much as he had before. All his brothers and sisters, and everyone who had known him before, came and ate with him in his house. They comforted and consoled him over all the trouble the Lord had brought on him, and each one gave him a piece of silver and a gold ring. Now, this is the restoration of his fortune. The Lord, verse 12, we'll look at this tomorrow, but the Lord blessed the latter part of Job's life more than the former part. He had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 donkeys. Now note that this is not a reward. He gets double favour. He gets comfort from his relatives, which makes you ask, where were they when that comfort was really needed? The gifts that came, the piece of silver and the gold ring, in a sense you wonder what comfort he would have received from them. And I think here's the problem. They were not there in his hour of need. It's amazing how many friends you have when things are going well and when you don't need them so much. It's, what is it? A friend in need is a friend indeed. Or at least when you go and help a friend in need, you're showing that. I find it interesting, isn't it, that the temptation, especially, I think in middle class circles, you know, and a lot of the circles I move in and part of, you invite people for a dinner party. There are people who we like to connect with and we want to network with and we want to be seen with. But it's a bit like at school, you know, the boy who was kind of leader of the gang, or the girl who was just attractive and beautiful and mega intelligent, and people wanted to be around her. But when things are not going well, and when you're struggling with different things, when you've done something wrong, when bad things have happened to you, it's amazing how lonely you can be. And I would say this, real deep friendships are hard to come by. What we call friends, you've got on Facebook, for example, they're not friends. There are what we call friends at work, they're colleagues and acquaintances, and when you leave work, you may never see them again. School friends, uni friends, drinking friends, you know, but real deep friendships, and they're desperately needed. But we do, I think, we struggle. I heard someone say about churches here in Australia that they found them to be very friendly and very hard place to make friends in. Well, I don't think that's just in Australia. I think that's in a lot of places. So, I want to think also this comfort and consolation, and what our consolation reward is. Look at verse 11. They came and ate with him in his house. Since chapter 2, verse 11, this is the first celebration meal. It's the first real meal that Job has had. When you've been without food, when you've been struggling, to have that is fantastic. I remember in hospital I was nil by mouth for 7 weeks or something. And that first taste of something I had was something I hated, ambrosia creamed rice. But honestly, that first spoonful was like the nectar of the gods. Imagine what Job must have felt like with this meal. I do think eating together and sharing together in hospitality is so important. One other thing maybe, God blesses Job not because Job believes he is blessed. Job doesn't believe because God has blessed him. He believes in the midst of his pain and suffering, and then God blesses him. As James says about this, the Lord, James 5:11, the Lord is compassionate and merciful. In 1 Timothy 6:17, God gives us all things richly to enjoy. And I think, you know, we can rejoice in good food. I certainly do. Drink. many of the pleasures that God gives to us as consolations, but we need, and to comfort, but we need to remember that these are only a foretaste of the feast that is to come, the great wedding feast of the Lamb. I just think, again, I'm just thinking of people who've gone to glory. There's nothing here on this earth that they miss. It's everything good they've had on this earth is just a foretaste of what is to come. All right, we shall see you tomorrow as we come to the penultimate Coffee with Job. God bless you, and may you know his comfort and consolation.